This series of videos is all going to be about the equation of a line. The equation of a line. We're going to go on to gradients and midpoints and intersections and tangents maybe. So we're going to start off with the most basic thing, how to find the gradient of a line. So this is our gradient. So what we're going to have is the most basic line we can have. We can have y equals m amounts of x plus, let's go for green, let's have c there, where m here, m is going to be our gradient, so m is going to equal the gradient, and c here, c is going to be our y-intercept. And what do I mean by that? Well, the gradient is on a graph. Let me sketch out some line on here. So in pink I have this line, this straight line that goes through here, and I'm going to say, right, so for every one block that I go to, let's say that's 1 unit to, how many blocks did I go up? So maybe in this case it's 1. Maybe let's say that I've drawn a perfectly straight line that's the same distance from, this is my x-axis here and this is my y-axis here. So the gradient here would be 1. For every block to the right, I'm going to go 1 block up. And then my y-intercept is going to be the point at which this line cuts the y-axis. So in this case what we have is, let me write this down, in this case our line would be y equals 1, our gradient is 1, so 1x, plus our c, which is going to be 0. It cuts the y-axis where y is equal to 0, so plus 0. So this is the most primitive basic line, y equals x. That is our line in this case. So let's move on from that. I think maybe you already knew that from GCSE. So what happens when we get given a kind of a tricky line to find the gradient? Because normally the question at the start of this, our part A, probably to this question, will be find the gradient. So if we say that we have, let's say we have 3y is equal to 2x plus 7, how are we going to find the gradient to that? Well, what we have to do is get this y to be a single y. At the moment it's a 3y. Let's try and get it to be a single y. So let's divide the whole lot by 3. Let's divide the whole lot by 3 there and see what we get. So we're going to get 3y divided by 3 is going to be y. Then we have 2 over 3 amounts of x plus 7 over 3. And then what we can say after that, we can say that our gradient is this 2 over 3 here, that's our gradient, and our y-intercept is going to be this plus 7 over 3. Let's try a more difficult one. Let's say that we have, let's use pink again, let's say that we have 5x minus 2y is equal to 4. So how do we find the gradient in there? That's going to take some playing around with. So let's do that. So we'll try and get y on its own in this case. So we're going to get this minus 5x and put it over to the right hand side. So we can say that we're going to take away 5x from both sides. Let's do that. I'm going to go down a bit to give myself some room. Yeah, so minus 5x from both sides. So we're going to get minus 2y equals minus 5x plus 4. Then I'm going to times everything by minus 1. I'm going to times everything by minus 1 so that I get this minus 2y into a plus 2y. So we're going to have a plus 2y there is going to be equal to 5x minus 4. Well, I should say as well, what we have to do on the left hand side, we also have to do on the right hand side. Otherwise we change the nature of the line, we change it into a different line, and We don't want to find the gradient of a different line. So the last step that I'm going to do here is I'm going to divide everything by 2. So I get a single y there. So then I'm going to have a single y is equal to 5 over 2 amounts of x minus 4 over 2, which is 2. And then what we have is 5 over 2, or 2.5 if you prefer decimals. 5 over 2 is our gradient, and then we have minus 2 as our y-intercept. So hopefully that was a good introduction into the gradient and the y-intercept and the equation of a line. See you on the next one.